Forge! I am still a hard man! And I am still very much a hard man! I am your host, Imperator of Forge, otherwise known as Forge Warhammer. How are you doing today? So we have... I wanted to talk a bit about I don't believe in high-functioning autism. It's to me, there's no such thing as Asperger's being the same diagnosis as autism. It's Asperger's and schizoid personality disorder. Schizoid is a personality disorder. Allegedly, I think it's just a distinct personality type. And Asperger's is a so-called developmental disorder. I think it's just a different neurodivergence. And I find it interesting how these two overlap. And I've wondered and have thought about it for 15 years now. But anyways, let's just go and start. So, first I'll talk about schizoid personality type. Self-isolation due to a lack of desire for social interactions and indifference to relationships. Close bonds often feel threatening. Relational detachment. Detached and indifferent to relationships. Restricted emotion. Restricted range of emotion, indifference, and may have difficulty expressing anger. Social anhedonia. Socializing doesn't bring pleasure, leading to low social motivation. Distinctive schizoid traits. Validation comes from within, not external. Difficulty with empathy. Often appears emotionally cold or detached. Now, schizoid personality is not an autistic trait, and it does not fall under the umbrella of autism spectrum disorders. I just wanted to, it's a personality disorder type. It has nothing to do with neurology. Now, I come over here to this bullshit. Just replace, think of it as Asperger syndrome. So this is the Asperger side of it. So Asperger syndrome, sensory isolation. Isolate has a coping strategy due to sensory sensitivities. Connection can feel overwhelming. Monotropic detachment. Due to a singular focused brain, often has a rich inner world and detaches from external world. Restricted emotion. Restricted range of emotion often linked to sensory processing differences and axillethmia. Social overwhelm. May have high social motivation, but a low social battery. Easily overwhelmed by holistic communication and sensory elements. Distinctive autistic traits. Special interest. Sensory differences. Self-soothes through routine and repetition. Doesn't pick up social cues without conscious effort. So that's the neurological or the autistic side. And likewise, you'll notice that autism does not fall under personality disorder or schizotypal personality spectrum types. Now, I want to read the overlap. So, according to Dr. Neff here of the Misdiagnosis Monday series, we have schizoid personality disorder versus autism. Overlap this includes the commonalities of both is flat affect, motivation and inertia difficulties, eye contact differences, social difficulties and withdrawal, easily overwhelmed with others' positive emotion, more likely to experience nervous system shutdown. Often feels more like an observer than a participant. Now, does that not sound like an RPG? Does that not sound like one is playing an MMORPG? Higher likelihood of being asexual, aromantic, rigid cognitive patterns, high need for alone time. Now, having gone through this, I just would like to postulate the possibility that maybe schizoid personality and Asperger syndrome or high-functioning autism, which I don't really consider to be autism, I consider it a separate diagnosis. Say what you will of that. Maybe these things are in fact the same thing. And maybe it is just a distinct personality type. Maybe instead of saying that it is a disorder, whether a personality or a neurological type, maybe it's just people who don't need to constantly talk to 25 other regards all the time or try to seek some kind of social importance or sense of like importance from others, are always trying to get acclamation from others. Maybe that's the real disorder. And maybe rejecting external things like that is actually the real order. Maybe that is the real personality type. And this idea of living in big cities, traveling around metros, or having like 8 types of different social media, and all this constant interaction, all this engagement and stuff with TikTok and Discord, and this kind of social fixation and externalization of things, maybe that's the real disorder. And maybe the monotropic mindset is in fact actually something that is just really genuine. Something that is actually a real personality type, and it's not a disorder. People in modern Western society have this overemphasis of constantly trying to overdiagnose everything. And a lot of people get misdiagnosed as well into these brackets. And they're meaningless, empty brackets. So, that's about it. It's just something I wanted to talk about. All these kind of misdiagnoses and, you know, you're this thing, you have a social sideline disorder, you have like this weird eating disorder, oh, you're just too obsessive, maybe you have a personality disorder, you have a borderline disorder, you're schizoid, you're schizotypal, or maybe you're autistic, or maybe you're just too schizophrenic. This and that, and more of this and that nonsense. It's too many people are getting overdiagnosed into these things. It's bullshit. It's just I think it's just too much of an overdiagnosis and just too much of a Freudian slip, a Freudian Jungian slip, really. It's just be yourself, really. Another thing too, I'm sick of people trying to identify themselves with these things. Like, stop identifying yourself with these stupid traits and stuff. Just be yourself. Be who you are and just be yourself. And stop trying to adopt into these modern false designations. It's a Western colonizing modern postmodern diagnosis that is overdiagnosed onto people. Just be yourself, man. That's really about it. Stay home.